was battle spots at the Wilderness Battlefield. The Tap Farm.
The widow's tap field. Few families of modest means became so famous. In this field lived widow Catherine Tapp, who with other family members eked out an existence from poor soil. The Tapps occupied a lopsided log cabin about 300 yards in front of you.
7 people lived in the space, perhaps 30 by 20 feet. A corn crib, log stable, and a few fruit trees surrounded the house. 4 milk cows and 7 pigs wandered the property. Catherine Tapp net worth barely exceeded $100. She owned no land, she owned no slaves. A kitchen garden, a small patch of corn, potatoes and wheat likely provided much of the family's food. The war that so devastated others in Spotsylvania County could do little to diminish the Tapps. They had little to lose. There's a video or a picture of how it was set up. We're here and looking out across that field. The Union were coming through them trees right there. This is one of the spots where we fought. Here on the morning of May 6, 1864, Confederate General Robert E. Lee and his army faced perhaps their greatest crisis. Soon after dawn, hundreds of disorganized Confederates stumbled from their woods to their left, driven by a powerful Union assault. As the Confederates swept past, only General Lee, his staff, and some 12 cannon stood between the Union Army and Confederate disaster. Southern reinforcements under Longstreet were on the way, but would they arrive in time to prevent Lee's destruction? Lee fretted as he rarely had. The Confederate artillery fired furiously, but only slowed the Federals. Then, as the Union troops advanced into the field, the Texas Brigade, the first of Longstreet's corps, trotted eastward up the plank road. The Lee rode to the head of the column, intent on personally leading it into the battle, but the Texans stopped him. "Lead to the rear," they shouted, refusing to move forward until the general retreated to safety. He did, and they moved forward, commencing a counterattack that would drive the Federals away from Widow Tapp's farm for the last time. So this is one spot they fought. We drove them back.
Alright, we're going to go find another spot.
If you don't know, I'm a southern boy.
Southern.
The monument's back here. Yep, they got this nice back.
Vermont Monument.
Huh?
Vermont Monument.
Yep, Vermont Monument's back here. How far back it is.
Oh no.
But this trail looks like it's way back there.
Right.
I don't see no monument here. Valuable crossroads. Union troops raced towards the intersection. Sweeping down on the orange plank road. Come over here. That's pretty. I think we came here one other time. How far back you gotta go?
I didn't bring my hiking boots, did you?
They got a monument back here?
That's what it said.
Yeah. Should have looked it up and seen, it might have told you how long the walk is. It made a nice path back here to it.
Yeah. So all this was a battlefield?
Yeah. This is the monument. I mean, oh, now I'm seeing something back there.
Yeah, I do too.
It goes straight back. Oh yeah, there's something back there. Not too far.
All right.
Yeah. It's a squirrel.
Oh man.
This is something you'd have to get out and walk to see. I thought it seemed like it'd be further, but this thing's back in the woods.
All right.
If you didn't know it was here, you'd ride right back. It's a nice day for this. I mean, the bugs ain't real bad. Feels pretty good out here.
It was in the 90s and it don't feel like it.
Not here. But all this stuff, you gotta walk to it. Is why it's called the wilderness.
Hell itself. Oh. What does it say? The wilderness of today looks different than it did in 1864.
Then it was a patchwork of second-growth forest, brush obscured, briars grabbed, and thickets disrupted battle lines. One soldier described the combat here as bushwhacking on a grand scale for men accustomed to fighting in open woods and fields. The tangled landscape of the wilderness translated into sheer horror. Smoke from thousands of rifles hovered motionless in the air, choking the combatants. Enemy lines rose up, fired volley, then disappeared into the haze. Many men never even saw their foes. They simply fired at muzzle flashes in the undergrowth. When the dry leaves caught fire, wounded soldiers burned to death. To a Union officer, it seemed that hell itself had usurped the place of earth.
Damn. Gosh. Oh, this is called hell itself.
Yeah, this place burned up. We'll have to come back here and do a spirit.
And
Do the spirit box.
right.
And the trail seems like it goes on.
I know.
The Vermont Brigade. In these woods during the Battle of the Wilderness on May 5th and 6th, 1864, Vermont's old brigade suffered 1,234 casualties while defending the Brock Road of Orange Plank Road intersection. That's 1,234 soldiers died.
Wow.
The flags of each regiment, though pierced and tattered, still flaunts in the face of the foe, and noble bands of veterans with thin ranks and but few officers to command still stand by them, and they seem determined to stand so long as there is a man to bear their flag aloft or an enemy in the field. Brigadier General Lewis A. Grant, Brigade Commander. Yeah, we'll have to come back here if we've got more time. Take the walk. We have to plan something like this. Like come out early in the morning.
All right.
I'd get on back. We didn't lock the vehicle, so I need somebody to take it.
Yeah. Another spot. And Grant comes to Virginia.
Yep, he had his tent set up here for 3 days. This is where his headquarters were.
Really?
Yeah. It's right down
Back here?
Yeah. Yeah, but this is where he had his headquarters, his tent all set up right here where they got this plaque.
Right here, looks like.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was Grant's headquarters right here.
An uneasy partnership. Right here.
Right
Grant's headquarters.
Right on this spot.
Yep. He put a tent here for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right here.
Didn't have a lot to look at if it looked like this back in.
Right?
These woods look like something out of a Civil War movie, though.
It does, don't it?
Yeah.
Still got, it looks like it's still got the circle.
Yeah.
You know? Goes around.
Yep.
I like to come back one night and sit here
Yeah.
and do an EVP, you know?
Yep. There's some big cedar tree. That was probably here when he was here.
Yeah.
That tree's at least,
Wow.
that tree's probably at least 100 and some years old. Maybe that tree was probably here.
Look at that one. That big one over there.
Yeah. I'm sure some of these trees were here when he was here.
Yep, there's where he put up his tent for 3 days. Grant.
Coming over here, look at the size of these trees. Maybe that big tree was definitely here. That tree's got 200 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And this one here is too.
This tells me to take another look. I just had something told me to take another look
Yeah.
at the camera. Alright, on to the next. We are going to the cemetery.
See any graves? And herbs over there.
Alright.
Let's see it over here.
Yep. Up on the hill.
Pretty spot.
Right under the tree.
Yeah, look at that old tree. What's that? Still ain't in the cemetery yet. Unless this is it. He said it was, you heard him, he was saying it was very confusing. See what this sign says. Yeah, there's a gravestone here. Here's where they buried Stonewall Jackson's arm.
Stonewall Jackson's arm.
Come over here, you can get a picture. It's got on this here tombstone. Arm of Stonewall Jackson, May 3rd, 1863.
Really?
Yeah. That's where they buried his arm. Just take a sweep of the field. Show them the vast openness that is here.
And there's his arm. Stonewall Jackson's arm.
It says cemetery, only one arm in this cemetery.
to see this house. At least we can see the outside of the house.
Yeah, we'll walk around. Yeah, Dad couldn't have walked down here. It would have wore him out. Probably gonna wear you out.
Right.
But we'll go back the easy way where they got the trail. Take your time. You ain't no hurry. We'll have to do a little more research on this. This house might have been here. And this is where they did the operation, cutting his arm off and things. Got it air conditioned or something air conditioned.
I hear it.
It just kicked on. Look at this huge tree. Got it?
Yeah. I see it.
That tree was here then.
Right.
Quite a few of them around here. I'm gonna get a view of the front of it.
Yeah.
Keep going that way.
Wow. That's a nice looking house. Too bad we can't go inside. It's closed due to the COVID. Yeah, I like this. I'm going up on it. Maybe not. Wow. It's a quiet little place. I want to go inside. I want to go inside. Look at the doors. What's this one? The yard is a busy place. You are now standing in what was commonly referred to as the yard. That part of the plantation where enslaved workers not working in the fields, perform their daily chores. Depending on the time of the year, you might have seen them washing soiled clothes, laundry, and a kettle, chopping wood, butchering livestock, or carrying food from the kitchen to the main house. After sunset, the yard transformed. Weary workers trudged in from the fields for dinner to rest. Music, cries, laughter, or shouts came from the enslaved people's dwelling and then sleep. The next day they did it again, day after day. God, how much clothes and laundry did they have dirty?
That's an eastern red cedar. A big tree.
Right.
Straight too. Make a lot of stuff out of cedar with it. That house was here during Civil War.
Oh, I like that. I'd like to see inside, but it's closed.
Might could peek in the window.
Maybe. Yeah, it'd be a good idea. Stick the camera up there a little bit. Oh, you can't get through it.
What?
You gonna go over it?
Huh? What?
Oh, it's handicapped. I guess I go through because I'm handicapped.
Peek in the window. See what they got in there. Not a whole lot.
Don't look like nothing. Right.
Yep. They got this one covered over where you can't see in it.
Right. Well,
Over there, he had a picture of this house. There's two plaques there.
really?
It had a picture of this house and the way it was set up. The Union used this as a headquarters. Big as this place is, you'd think it'd have like a, if it had a family cemetery here or something.
Uh-huh.
It's not seeing it. Here's a military scene of what this place looked like. See, you would have had wagons and horses
Right there
all
at
like
the
right
house.
here where we're at.
Right there.
Yeah. Then over here it tells you this was the Union's headquarters. Elwood stood in the midst of the wilderness, dark, forbidden forest, characterized by stone trees and densely tangled undergrowth. When the Confederates challenged General USS Grant advanced through the wilderness on May 5, 1864, the Union commander made his headquarters just a few hundred yards north of here along the Orange Turnpike. That's where we were at earlier. Modern Route 20. For the next 3 days, Elwood, a quiet farm and desolated region, suddenly found itself in the center of national attention. Union's 5th Corps commander, Governor K. Warner, occupied the first rooms to the left of the front door throughout the battle. Here on the evening of May 5th, he received reports of staggering casualties from his chief surgeon. It will never. Time the Army of the Potomac reached the James River 6 weeks later, it had incurred more than 60,000 casualties.
All right. We gotta walk back a ways, don't we?
Yeah. Better get to it. It might be dark by the time we get back.
I know. All right. So.
We'll end this video.
Okay.
And like and subscribe.
Yep.
We'll see you later.
Later.